Welcome and thank you for coming. My name is Sharnah and I'm a Bachelor of Counselling student at the Australian Institute of Professional Counsellors, or AIPC for short. Today I'll be talking to you about personality, specifically traits, and the ability to trust and how that affects the counselling relationship. This poster has key points that I'll be discussing in greater detail to support my argument that traits and the ability to trust affects the client and counsellor relationship in varying degrees. Firstly, what does a counselling relationship entail, I hear you ask? AIPC and Psychotherapy and Counselling Federation of Australia define a counselling relationship as essentially a relationship between two humans. So think of that between a husband and wife or two friends. However, the difference is that the counsellor facilitates professional activities that enable their clients to develop an understanding of themselves and make changes in their life through exploration and the resolution of problems. So in order to help the client do this, a counsellor must build rapport and create an environment where the client is able to open up and express themselves. After all, they are revealing quite intimate details about themselves, and like any relationship, any individual will do this in different ways. So what are personality traits? Gelso and Fassinger proposed that traits are a characteristic that is distinct to an individual. So think of your traits as puzzle pieces, which make up who you are as a person, different colours and different shapes, like this little man here. The literature states that there are 5 main traits a personality may have. 1. Neuroticism. 2. Extroversion. 3. Openness to experience. 4. Agreeableness. And 5. Conscientiousness. So in reference to Hammond, by using Holland's 5-factor model of personality, we can measure the percentage of each of these 5 traits in an individual. This gives us an insight into the client's personality and also how they relate to the counsellor. So how does this affect the relationship, you ask? For an example, a client who scores lower on the extroversion factor may be shy and reserved and therefore have difficulty opening up in a session. So if you took this same client and paired them with a counsellor who scored high on the extroversion factor, who's loud and outgoing, this may affect the counselling relationship by them being too intimidating, then clashing, or dominant in the relationship, so therefore the client may not want to open up. Another example is whether a client is open to experiences. If they were to score at the lower end of this factor, you may not want to offer an approach whereby treating their anxiety would require them to bungee jump off a cliff, even though research says this will help their anxiety. You may want to look at an approach that has decades-long research and something more conservative like cognitive behaviour therapy. A client and counsellor who is closely scoring in relation to the agreeableness factor may make the process smoother in working together, in discussing goals, tasks and approaches, as similar personality types will be more understanding of one another. Agaska, Liebert and Tabor. Coleman argues that similar traits within the relationship lead to relationships which are more stable, enjoyable and beneficial to both parties. Now think about the relationships you have with your friends or partner, for instance. Sure, there may be differences, but there'd be key similarities in order for you to relate to each other. They strengthen your relationships, don't they? This is similar for the counselling relationship. Similar traits act as reinforcement and validation for the client. Therefore, dissimilar traits may make the client feel uneasy or wary of the counsellor's ability to understand them and empathise with their situation, which therefore this could impede the counselling relationship or lead to premature termination of service. That's a pretty big effect. Traits therefore can be used to proactively match a counsellor of similar traits at the screening stage, which could potentially lead to fewer terminations of service early on. It can indicate potential barriers, differences in personality, and also allows the counsellor to tailor approaches and interventions which are more suited to the client. It can therefore be said that a desirable trait that a counsellor themselves should hold is the ability to adapt to the nature of the client, showing them that they respect their differences, appreciate the differences, and are willing to work with them regardless of that. So we have discussed traits in relation to the counselling relationship. Now I'd like to draw your attention to trust. Bose, Finnegan, Gill and McNally define trust as an internal calculated risk one takes in the belief another will do good by them. But how does trust occur? Personality theorists believe it occurs by one or two means, or perhaps a mixture of both. The first mean is a disposition which is inherited of psychological state. The second is a predisposed behaviour developed early in life resulting from positive and negative experiences with others. Think Freud's psychodynamic view on trust versus mistrust, ego developmental theory. This is based on whether basic needs are met adequately between infant and carer. For an example, an infant's expectation that they will be looked after by their mother, but then they're neglected. They therefore develop not to trust that they will be looked after further on in life. Lawton Brown says that research proposes that trust can also be influenced by an individual's social class, gender, diversity, and ethnicity. For example, the level of trust that a client may be low if they live in poverty and uncertain when they will get that food. She also argues that trust is imperative within the counselling relationship to effect change. So a client will meet a counsellor, and within that first, second, or third session, they will make an internal calculation on the risk involved with interacting with that person, based on the way they behave, they look, and they speak. The client is analysing and comparing this to their internal beliefs and past experiences and determining whether they will trust this new person. It is therefore crucial that knowing this is what takes place, that the counsellor establish trust early on to have a positive effect by being open, welcoming, and showing commitment and effort. Lewicki and Tomlinson state that trust is a mutual process requiring commitment and effort on both sides. Think of your own relationships, for example. If your friend said, "I will stand behind you, and I want you to fall backwards and I will catch you," what do you think would be going through your mind? Have I had a past experience where this has happened before? In that experience, did they catch or drop me? How comfortable am I in allowing this person to catch me? What do I know about this person? And is what I know about them enough to alleviate my discomfort and mistrust? From there, they will either fall back or do not. Very similar to the counselling relationship, Burns and colleagues state clients subconsciously assess the counsellor on their ability to demonstrate honesty, compassion, and professional support. I believe this is what most people need when they're opening up their lives to others. So knowing that trust has this distinct effect on the counselling relationship from the start, it is vital the counsellor provides a positive, open, and welcoming first impression to give the counselling relationship the chance to start off on the right foot. Some would argue that establishing trust between counsellor and client lay the foundations to build rapport and establish mutual respect. A client that feels that they can trust are more openly to share their thoughts and feelings, supporting the progression of therapy and leading to positive outcomes. That seems pretty logical, right? But remembering the other reason that trust evolved from past positive and negative experiences. So, for example, that person that asked you to fall backwards, but you refused to, because maybe a week, a month, or years ago, someone else asked you to do the same thing. And you did because you thought you could trust them. You took a calculated risk. And you fell backwards. But they did not catch you. Now some people will get back up, and some others will continue to distrust. That's depending on one's disposed psychological state. Therefore, clients bring to counselling relationships where previous mistrust has occurred. And instead of a counsellor shying away from this, Lawton Brown states that they should view this absence of trust as an area that they could explore through therapy. Because what does a counselling relationship do? Help clients to gain an understanding of themselves by exploring their problems and making changes to their lives. A counsellor can explore mistrust further and explore with the client why has this mistrust occurred in the first place. So now a counsellor has gained or is gaining trust with the client. Everything is developing nicely, the client is working and actively participating in therapy. Everything should be fine, right? Not necessarily. Trust can be eroded or lost completely at any stage in any relationship. Within counselling, this could stem from a direct action by the counsellor or from external sources, such as another relationship outside of the counselling or from past experience. The Wiki and colleagues state that a violation of trust is categorised internally by the client from low risk to high risk, depending on the impact that it had to the client and whether they feel that violation will occur again. In some cases, these violations are irreparable, and in others, the relationship is damaged. This causes a negative impact to the counselling relationship or a termination of the service altogether. Today I presented to you that a client and counsellor's unique personality traits come together like two puzzle pieces, which can be measured by the 5-factor model of personality. That traits can affect the counselling relationship, whereby similar traits strengthen the client-counsellor relationship. Dissimilar traits can lead to a premature termination of service. But knowing what traits a client has can lead us to provide approaches which are suited to the clients and provide a positive outcome. As I discussed how the ability to trust is inherent of our psychological state and by our previous experiences with others, that trust is a mutual process that can be established, built on, eroded or lost. That trust affects the counselling process by building rapport and providing an open space for clients to express themselves. That losing trust can be harmful to the relationship and could terminate that relationship. And mistrust can be a barrier to therapy, which could provide opportunity to explore these themes. With what I've discussed today, I believe supports my argument that traits and trust do affect the ability to establish a successful, functioning counselling relationship. And I thank you for your time. Movie recording has been automatically stopped.
On the, what about the phone?
That's fine, still going.
Yes. Yeah.